But see,
I
Anton,
don't
you're
want nothing less.
explaining
Anything less
that for
than that
the
is
for the masses
anything
who
less
don't
than that
have
is
who don't have
anything less than that is unacceptable. Anything
but you're
less than that.
explaining that. You're explaining that, right? For those women that don't and this is what I don't understand about people in the chat. This is a conversation. So Anton always likes to speak from the general. So this has nothing to do with anybody personally. Everybody up here on this panel is okay. But what I'm talking about when I ask the question is everything is always on a surface level. Anton broke just broke that down. I don't hear that on these panels. It's always vague, and I'm talking about from both
Yeah.
sides. The women be, oh, well, the man need to do da, 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 and they don't know what they're talking about. And then the men say, well, women need to, and it's never an actual conversation with nuances. It's just
Right.
well, you need to bring something to the table. You need to bring he need to bring this to the table. And it's just like it's the same
Which
conversation. That's why I don't even watch them. Actually, every time I hear that conversation, I turn it because they're not going to go past anything.
which
I will
Tamika,
tell you that
to your point. Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna let you rock, Keri. I will tell y'all that y'all have the power to make a man do even 10 times more than he thought he was even capable of doing. Women have some superpowers that y'all just don't tap into. Y'all superpowers is way more than y'all box. It's way more than y'all looks. It's way more than whatever it is that you feel about yourself. It's way more than these stupid ass love languages that we think is relevant. Y'all got the power to really get a nigga to jump off a fucking bridge. And y'all don't even tap into that. Y'all got some things that y'all got to work on and nurture that tonight's conversation can't help you with.
I
The
don't watch
Bible, the love languages, they can't help you with. Y'all got some super
it.
fucking powers that could really, really put a nigga in a space to where it's like, damn, I want to just go all the fuck out for you because you everything. Like we will die for you. We will put our lives on the line for y'all because we love y'all that much. Y'all got the power to really put a battery in people back. Seriously. For everything. We will put everything on the line for y'all. The question that y'all need to ask yourself is how do you tap into that shit? A lot of women don't tap into their superpower. They don't even know that they got it.
Oh,
They think that the relevance that they have is what they look like. That's why all of the women look the same nowadays. They think that it means something, you know what I'm saying, to that what they saying all the time. We don't give a fuck about that. A woman can say 3 words in the whole day and give that nigga everything he needs in order to get out there and get it and go and get it. Think about it. Most guys die over women. Whenever there's a confrontation, whenever there's a war, whenever something happens, it's over a woman. It's usually over a woman. Somewhere, it's a woman in there that creates a jealous moment, a situation, or whatever. It's something in there a woman is related to. Y'all have the most crazy superpowers ever. And it's different from ours because it's not y'all physical strength. It's a different thing that God is giving y'all. And women don't know how to tap into it. They
And so
don't know how to get a dude to do the thing that they really want to do and to get everything from them because they're not willing to give themselves.
Is they at work?
But
Paying
Anton,
half his
we talked
bills.
about this before. We talked about this multiple times. We talked about I've talked about femininity. I've talked about all of that. I've talked about women not having to go back and forth with men and arguing and trying to be overly masculine with him to get with it. Like we've talked about all that before. They're not raised this way.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
that's why I was saying, if a man on the panel could provide exactly what that word meant. That's why a lot of women flocked to Kevin Samuels, even when they didn't like him, because they actually heard a man actually break it down and say something. Because most of these women do not have a two parent home, or some men that even actually reminisce of loving them or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So they're clueless. They're clueless. And then you got the men that are some of the young men that are being raised by the single baby mamas, so they're clueless. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, if there's some man on the panel that could expound on it, that's why I was asking. Like, what do you actually mean? Because
I
nobody,
I asked I
I never
asked
hear that.
I asked what separates you from other women. I don't think that's surface level. I think that's something that you could deep dive into.
Yeah, that's why
That's
I said
like a weird
expound. That's why I said
question.
expound.
How's that a weird question?
That's why I said
I could
expound.
say anything though. Like I could say anything that you would want to hear. Why would that question even have to be asked?
Because that's
You should just be
vital
able
in
to
who
see
you are
based
as a
off of how I
person.
move.
What
Huh?
separates you from other women? That's a. I'm not
But
understanding what's hard to understand about that.
do men think there's a big difference between women? Because most women think all men care about is sex. So,
If a woman, let me tell y'all what to say. I'm gonna give y'all the cheat code, ladies. The next time that a guy asks y'all what y'all bring to the table,
I know I will.
and you want to give them the right answer, just tell him that you give him everything. You give him your life. You give it whatever it is that he want. You 100% submit to his will for you.
some men can't afford that answer.
Nah, listen. If you want the right answer, if you want to
Okay.
give the right answer, if you want him to act to shut a man up, if you want to shut him up, that's what you tell him.
Is that a good answer, Slimmy?
Whatever
If a
you
woman were
Because
to
listen,
say whatever
my
you
life,
want, whatever you
my
I
need,
don't know
life,
why y'all
my
can't take
life
a
is in your
conversation.
hands. Whatever you
Y'all
want
making
me
it
to
too
do,
personal.
whatever it is that you need from me, whatever I have to do to make you to submit myself to you and make you great, I am yours to do whatever you want to do. Whatever you want, no matter what it is, you have complete control of me.
It's crazy
man,
that
these women are not letting
Y'all don't want that
they
shit.
don't
Y'all
want to
don't want it.
submit. They don't
Y'all don't
want it.
want it.
They
Y'all don't
don't. They
want
don't.
it.
They don't.
and the older
Y'all don't want it. Y'all don't want it.
everything. Huh? What?
Y'all don't want the answer.
Y'all don't want what answer?
The
No,
answer for what
generally,
guys
I
want
don't
to
think
hear.
women can accept that answer. No, no, not the way that they're being raised up today.
No, and that's what I'm. But
That's asking for too much.
that's what I'm saying. You're not you're not gonna
I
get it
don't
in a
I
lot of
don't
these women.
I don't necessarily I don't think that it's completely that. Because I'm sitting here and I was trying to think more about your question, Anton, about women who are already like, why do you think you should be able to keep your man? And why we don't talk to one another about it and all of that. And so I'm trying to think of like, because I know we're not trying to make this personal, but I'm trying to think of, like my conversations, my friends, whatever. And I think a lot of women they want to do that. They want to give their everything, they want to give their all. I think a big part of the problem is I think men want us to know what that is and what that looks like in a way that men can receive it. Because I don't think men give as much true feedback to their women like they can in order to help develop them, if you will. I think especially if the man has in their mind what the woman should be doing, I think you guys kind of look at that like she should be able to figure this out in a sense. Or if a woman asks for the feedback, I think in general you guys have a tendency to be like, I'm good. It's good. I'm fine. I'm good. And then what potentially happens is y'all kind of shut down and go into your mode, and then stuff happens and now the woman's hurt. So you're now it's really going to be hard for her to be his everything, to keep herself together, to want to cater to his every need, because she's operating from a place of hurt, of rejection, of whatever. So I I don't know where that is. I'm not trying to blame this on men, but I do think that it would be helpful to have more of the communication, conversation, feedback stuff happening. The women, on the other
What you
hand, I
talking
do
about in a
think we can,
relationship?
in a relationship, yeah.
I'm not doing
I
it.
do think the women, but see, that's like that to me, that's a part of the friction of a woman who really might want to meet her man's every need, but maybe what I think that looks like is not all of what you want that to look like. So I need your feedback. Now, I still need to be doing my best to do what I can do and to ask you, but I think it's a two-way street. I think both people are necessary for her to really be able to be your everything.
Good luck. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say good luck.
But Anton, didn't you say something about women who listen to their bosses? Well, if he's the leader, doesn't he need to provide some type of instruction?
How much time do
For
y'all
the
boss
house?
spend talking to y'all and communicating with y'all about all of these expectations?
Say that
You
again.
adjust. Let me tell you what happens. You adjust. You make a mistake, you adjust. You never do it again. Oh, this is the way, girl. Don't wait a minute. He feeling a certain. You pay attention to him. He don't have to say a lot. I'm not going. Look, I talk a lot on the internet. I don't talk in real life like that. I don't
Right.
text. I don't talk. I don't do none of that shit. Y'all figure that shit out. Work that shit out amongst yourself. And y'all not confused. Y'all not when y'all around me. Y'all don't ask for a whole lot of feedback and shit like that. You just adjust. You look at me, you pay attention, you see what I like and all of that shit, and y'all just be adjusting. Y'all don't be asking a whole lot of questions.
Yeah, but you're talking about us, Anton. We're not talking about us.
And I'm not going to the extreme of like, tell me what to do. What do you like? That to me, you're taking it to an extreme. I'm saying some level of communication and feedback is helpful, is needed. And again, sometimes she might really be trying to figure it out, but he's not receiving it the way that she's intending to get. I wish I could think of an example the other
I'm
day with
listening.
me and my
I'm waiting.
husband. Like we really had to talk it through because the way he received what I was given was like I wasn't hitting the mark with how I thought what I was doing was like showing support and care, and he was like, I didn't take it like that.
Now I
But
will
if
say,
I didn't ask him or he didn't tell me, I might have walked away like I tried to do what, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying the feedback, the conversation, the honesty is helpful for somebody who is trying to meet your needs, somebody who is trying to be your everything.
well, now
I
I
don't
will
know.
say
They like,
I just
no,
don't.
they don't. They will not.
Because I don't care about trying.
no.
I only care about
They
doing it.
will not.
Like, 'cause for me, either you meet the expectation or not. That's it.
I
Like,
don't.
either you meet the expectation or somebody else gonna do it.
Yeah, I will say, Keri, it's like it's
I've never
almost.
had to fire somebody a day in my life. You know why? Because they always adjusted. They learned. They
But I'm not.
learned. They
I'm.
learned in real time and they adjusted.
So you don't speak to them. You say nothing.
No,
You're silent.
I speak about the things that I need or whatever is going on. Okay, I'll give you the perfect example. Perfect example. We all work together. How often do I actually talk to y'all about what we need to do and what direction that we going on this channel and what it is that we got to do and if we're gonna go to the next one? How often do I actually talk to y'all? Ever? Anybody can say something.
I mean, not a lot.
Never.
I don't never speak to y'all about nothing like that.
Never.
Ever.
But that's not the same thing.
How isn't it? This is a business.
I ain't gonna run and give my money back, nigga. You roll your eyes.
That's not the same thing.
No, because no, I get what you're saying,
And
Anton.
and I believe honestly, I believe that if any of us asked you something, I don't think you'd be like radio silence or man, figure that shit out.
Well, that's not
Like
the
I'm
point
not telling
about
you
it. Because
anything.
How don't I?
I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it. Now moving to a different point as a result of how you responded. I don't get that kind of a response. I don't get why that kind of a response is necessary. Like what's wrong with feedback? What is wrong with
Nothing is wrong with feedback.
conversation? Not to say let's belabor it, not to say I need the constant instruction, but what is wrong with it,
What I'm
especially if
trying to,
you see I'm not meeting a need. If you see I'm not meeting a need, before you go and do something because I'm not meeting a need, why won't you say something? And I think that a lot of men, they don't say anything, then they go do something, and then now we got to talk after you've done something about why you did it and how it started from something
But
I didn't meet your need
men
on.
never say
But it's
anything,
like,
Karen.
but I tried to talk to you
They
about,
never say anything, though.
huh?
They never say anything. They
But
always show it
that's a
through
part of what
action.
but that's a part of my original point when I start thinking about what Anton was asking, like women talking to women, giving the feedback or whatever. I think a lot of women who are in relationships, they're beyond that point, so they're operating after the fact. They're
let me
operating
ask you a
after the
question.
man didn't say anything
No,
to
no, no,
them,
no.
after the
Listen,
man made a
let
step
me ask you a
out. You know what
question.
I'm saying?
Well,
Let me
no,
ask
but
you a question.
but I
Oh,
will say this:
wait. As a content creator, how many times have any of y'all ever asked me for feedback?
never.
Has anybody on this panel ever asked me for feedback? Anybody?
No, I can usually tell
Why
what you got
not?
to say
How come y'all ain't never asked me for
because
feedback
I can
before?
usually
Did
tell
I
what
ask you
you're
for
going to say.
feedback before?
No.
Oh.
How come nobody on this panel has ever asked me for feedback? Y'all all got my number. Anybody can hit me up anytime. Why? And I'm not telling you that you should, but I'm just wondering, how come y'all ain't never asked me for feedback? Y'all have never even asked me for money. Not one person on this panel has ever asked me for a dime. Why? How come y'all don't feel the need to ask me for feedback? Because we getting significant money. We send out significant money on this platform. Like, we not playing with pennies, hundreds, none of that stuff. How come nobody has ever asked me for feedback? Ever. Not one time. Not one person has ever hit me up and say, yo, Anton, what do you think about this? Or whatever. Not one time. Ever.
I think you give it. I think you give it, but I just pay attention to how you act.
Oh, so you just make adjustments.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Wait, Keri, I'm asking you a question. Let me talk to Keri for a minute. Keri, what's going on, baby? What's going on, Keri? What's happening?
I don't see. I see how you just try to connect it, but
Well,
I
how did I
still
just
don't.
try to connect it?
Anton, you know you have you know how you have a way of doing what you just did. So I get it, but at the same time, you know this. It's not the same thing if you're in a relationship with somebody, and like it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing if you're in a relationship with somebody. It's
Interesting.
not. It's not.
Interesting.
Now, but here's what I will say though.
That is so interesting. That is crazy. You don't think so?
I think it is, Keri. But
No, I
I
don't.
get
I
what
don't
you're
think it's
saying. I get what you're saying.
not not
I get what you're
not in the
saying.
way not in the way that what not in the way of what I'm saying. And I honestly believe that if you had an issue, not a, if you felt like one of us wasn't meeting an expectation or something like that to the point where you would have to make a switch.
I would never
I
do that.
You would never what?
I would never make a switch. As a matter of fact, I'm so confident in y'all that I've already said to y'all and to people that have gotten disappointed or gotten mad at y'all or something like, oh no, ain't nobody, he ain't never going nowhere. I've said it about Quentin. I've said it about plenty of people. I'm so confident that y'all gonna be great at what y'all do and adding value to what we putting together that I say that ahead of time. I don't even have to reserve that. Can't nobody tell me to get rid of none of y'all. Y'all here. As long as y'all want to be here, you're here.
Okay, but I do think
Am I off? Because
no,
I'm being
but that
real.
wasn't my point. That wasn't my point of saying that. I think though that if there was something
I do the
that
same thing in my relationship. I say I ain't never getting divorced.
I
Can't
but
know.
I don't believe that you would just be.
Rita is here as long as she wants to be here.
I got that.
I have the confidence in her to know that she's going to overly meet the expectations of what it takes in order to be successful in this relationship. I got the utmost confidence in her. And every time she meet every expectation and more. She more than meets the expectation. There is nobody that has ever met her in real life that has ever said she got a bad attitude or this. She knows she's an extension of me.